Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm very pleased to bring this specialty deck to you guys today. This is a deck that only uses standard cards that are going to stay in standard forever, right? So those are the Origins set, those are the PMA guys, those are also the, I think they're called Jumpstart, all right? These are the ones, obviously, that's going to stay with us and not cycle to Legacy ever. So I think it's important to make cards that are only, make decks that are only using these cards. And the reason is, I like to tell players that, hey, you know what, start with those because they never ever rotate out, right? So the PMAs, the Jump Starts, the Origins, if you can collect that and have those entire sets, all of them, then basically you have a really good foundation that's going to be really sustainable. So what I want to try to do is make championship level decks only using those cards, because that's going to be a deck that's always usable, right? Okay, so that being said, here is the always standard deck that I've made for black, all right? What I should point out is this deck can be used with several different planeswalkers. The one I'm going to be using it with today is Angrath the Flame Chained. The reason I'm using this particular deck for Angrath is that it has this ability, Fiery Demise. Fiery Demise is a really good one here. You can see it says create a support with whenever a card enters your opponent's graveyard from anywhere, deal 6 damage to your opponent. Now, that's one of those that you can really build decks around. What we're going to try to do is hit the Fiery Demise as early as possible. The Fiery Demise is going to be helped by cards like Demonic Pact, which will destroy a card from your enemy's hand every single turn. Alright, it says here at the beginning of your turn, every creature your opponent controls gets 2 damage, your opponent takes 1 damage, and your opponent's last card in their hand is destroyed, and then I get to draw a card. The important part here is this destroy the card in your opponent's hand. Hopefully what you'll have, and this is one of the strategies for this deck, is get them down to 1 card or 0 cards. Because if you can get them 1 or 0 in the hand, what you'll be able to do is destroy 1 card every single turn. And that basically handcuffs the opponent where they're not able to play any cards, because they're going to have to really literally pay off the entire card in 1 turn and then be able to play it. If they're not able to, this card here will destroy it. So it's a very useful card. We have other cards in this deck, like Liliana's Reaver. This is another one that helps you to destroy cards in your opponent's hand. Alright, as I mentioned, the strategy for this deck is get them down to 0 cards in their hand. And if you can lock them down, 0 cards in their hand every single turn, that gives you a huge advantage. Alright, Night Snare also does that, destroys 2 cards in your opponent's hand. What I also like here is Infinite Obliteration. Infinite Obliteration will destroy cards in your opponent's hand, and that's going to, of course, help you to play some good defense and lock them down. It just gets worse if you have that Fiery Demise, right? Because they're going to have no cards in their hand, they're going to lose a card every single turn, and they're going to take 6 damage for it. Okay? So good stuff. That's the whole strategy of this deck here. Get their cards down to 0. If you can have this one out, you'll be able to make sure you get lots of damage on them every single turn. Alright, I hope you guys enjoy this deck. Again, like I always say, this one is one of those that you can just collect cards for and then build it. And I suggest you guys building this one because, like I said, this one is going to be usable in pretty much every set, every condition, and these cards are not going to go out of style. They're not going to go out of play, right? Okay, so let's take a look. We got a very favorable hand. Mock Jet is going to help us to get cards out quickly, especially these black cards. What we're going to try to do is get this one down and hopefully be able to play Demonic Pact next turn. That's going to be really good. For those of you that don't have Angrath, these are the mana bonuses. You can pause the video here. These are the abilities. Alright, what I'm going to be trying to do is get the red, the black, and then if I have to, go with blue. Alright, that being said, let's push this down here. That will give us the Mox Jet. That's not exactly a very favorable position for that Mox Jet, but we'll see what happens. Ooh, Liliana's Reaver. I tell you what, part of me wants to move the Reaver up already. No, let's go like this. Maybe we'll move him down a little bit after. But here's a good place for it. What we're trying to do is, oh, look right there. That's what we were trying to do. Get that demonic pack out. You'll see how dangerous this demonic pack is. Alright. Looks like this cat is a good cat. Very dangerous. You can see the demonic pack is going to work already. Doing the damage. Getting rid of the card. Very, very good. Very excellent card, actually. Okay, we'll go like this. Do we have an ability move that we can play? I tell you what, we got one, and we'll show you what we'll do this just because we like to show what that Mox gem does there. That Mox jet pays off something for you there. As long as it's black, the first black card in your hand is free. There you go. The demonic pack there is doing some damage, getting itself some work done. Let's get another demonic pack down. See, the problem with the demonic pack is it says here when this support is destroyed, you take 30 damage and the first 3 cards in your hand are destroyed. You really don't want to take 30 damage, right? So what we're going to have to do is protect it by making sure you have a lot of those demonic pack reinforcements out, right? So look right there. Now it's got 4 shield, and there we go. We're looking good. Okay, what we're going to try to do, as I mentioned, is get these guys down to 1 card, and you saw what happened, right? They were at 1 card, and the demonic pact over here destroyed that 1 card. Now, what we're going to see next turn is this guy's going to get destroyed because demonic pact will destroy him. They're going to have another card in here. If they don't pay that card off, it's going to destroy it. And literally, they're going to be on lockdown because they're not going to be able to play cards. They're not going to be able to launch any defenses. Things like that are super important to winning this game. All right, I'm just getting some of those out of the hand at this point. There we go. And then another Liliana's Reaver. That's nice. The Reaver will start destroying cards in their hand, but you're going to need more of these improved gems. You can read the card. Okay, there we go. We're looking good. Gonna see if we can get another demonic pact out at some point. Now, we'll get rid of this one here. At this point, what we're trying to do is get this Fiery Demise out, right? Because a Fiery Demise will help us to get some damage down. So at this point in the game, it's totally okay if you want to just focus on getting these loyalty points down, right? Getting these loyalty gems popped right there. Okay, there we go. You see what happens? I'll try to point it out on the next turn, but if you're paying attention, what you'll see is the opponent will draw a card. They'll try to, do their best to play that card, but if they're not able to play that card, it'll be my turn, and the demonic pact here will take out that card that they were trying to play on. It's just such an amazing ability because it really is so effective in locking down the opponent. All right, here we go again. Launching a ton of cards. There's another reinforcement for the demonic pack right there. This is really important because you want to protect that card. All right, let's see if I can illustrate for you what's going on. They drew a card. They drew a couple of cards actually. They have an ability there. Well, one of the cards is destroyed. Okay, so you can see what's going on. I like the Overseer of the Damned here. But first things first, let's hit the Fiery Demise. Fiery Demise, of course, as we talked about, will get 6 points of damage every single time your opponent loses a card, gets a card thrown in the graveyard, all of that stuff. We'll actually get to see it done here. I'm going to hit this Night Snare card. Night Snare will drop this card out of the opponent's hand, and then we'll get some 6 points of damage there. And there you go. Okay. Now you can see the opponent's going to draw a card. They're going to do their best to pay off that card. If they're not able to do it, Demonic Pact destroys that card, and they're back to 0 again, right? They're going to have to do that again, and it's really a situation where they're going to have to pay off that card in 1 turn. If they're not able to, then they're not going to be able to play it. And of course, that really does help us out a lot. You could see that they were taking damage and all of that, right? So, excellent, excellent stuff here. I think what we're going to go with is, we're going to go with this. That's going to take out that gem that I had. But you know what? We'll probably get another one. I didn't like the placement of that gem anyway, so it's okay. Alright. They're doing a good job here. They're able to put down, wow, an interesting support there. And it looks like they're getting to the end of their lifespan. Obviously, they're running out of a life. We're doing a great job of controlling the game by making sure that they are not able to play cards. And that's really the whole point of this deck, right? You want to be able to make sure they're not able to play cards, that they're on lockdown. Demonic Pact destroys it like that, and then they get damaged because of the Fiery Demise. Anyway, we hope you guys like the deck. That's it for me. Like and subscribe, share with all your friends. That really helps the channel. And I just encourage you guys to build this deck, because this is one that's not going to go into the legacy set, right? So focus, if you're a new player, focus on the PMAs, focus on the jumpstart, focus on collecting the origin set. Those ones are never going to go out of style. Those ones are not going to go to legacy, and you're going to be able to make powerful decks like this. Okay, that's it from me. Yeah, that's it for me. Good gaming.